Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anne of Reinforcement Club. Today, we are going to talk about the top social tips in connecting with Bisaya locals. So, this episode is for the English foreigners who are planning to spend a holiday or vacation in the Bisaya regions of the Philippines. So, I am going to help you enrich your stay and socialize with the people effectively, as well as build meaningful connections and appreciate the warmth and the hospitality of the people. Now, first of all, I am a native Bisaya, from the beginning of the earth, since I was born. So, you don't necessarily need to learn Bisaya language straight off the bat. No need for you. Because Bisaya people most of us knows how to talk English and as well understand English, because we already have English subjects which started since primary schooling up to college. So we know how to interact with English people as best as we can. Not the best one, but it works most of the time. Now, the only thing you have to do as an English foreign heading off to Bisaya regions, it could be Davao or Cebu, which is an interesting place. You don't need to be like elegant. You just be yourself. Dress the way you want to dress up, and I would appreciate those English foreigners who dress like locals. You don't have to dress. You don't have to be like wearing your tuxedo or gown. Just be yourself. And it's important to be down to earth. Because, gosh, when I first saw a foreigner in my place, I don't even know what to do. I mean, I don't even know how to talk to him, to that person. But my impression to that man, he was actually a husband of my neighbor. He's a simple guy. He dressed up like locals. No glitters, no expensive watch, not expensive brands. He dressed up like us, wearing flip flops of our brand. So it's important to immerse yourself first, not necessarily learn the language right away. The in terms of language, when you talk to us Bisaya in English, the pressure will be on us. It won't be on you. It won't be on those English native speakers. It will be on us, because we understand. It's just that it's overwhelming to react, to talk to someone, and to use a language that we rarely use other than in school, because we have to. And sometimes, and in some situation that we encounter English foreigners, and then it make us feel like, yeah, we gotta speak English. And it since we rarely do it, it makes us feel like special, like saucy, social in a Philippine way, like elegant, like smart. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the right word, smart. It makes us feel smart to interact with English foreigners, just merely interacting with them. And yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely. The pressure will be on us. You just have, as an English foreigner, you just have to respect, be polite, and if you want to learn, if you're interested enough to learn the Bisaya way, you just have to engage in small talk. Filipinos are generally friendly and enjoys small talks like food, family, culture, to build rapport. Even just a simple politeness like good morning, good afternoon, thank you. We understand that. And hearing you talking to us could ignite a good response, a good hormones to us. in a way that, we could start the conversation with you. This young generations these days, they could comprehend. They have a good understanding with English because of the internet. The Gen Zs, or those kids younger than Gen Zs, raised by Gen Z, so they're more likely to understand you and could interact you. They could even speak like Americans. Gosh. In other words, knowing Bisaya or learning Bisaya wouldn't be a problem for English native speakers. Wouldn't be. It's just a matter of character and getting along with people. And the best part to get along with people and to engage with this small talk is to participate in social events, which is massive and fantastic. It's full of people, and we do celebrate local gatherings, festivals, and events, grand celebration. Like we dance in the way that native dances. It's going to be bonga. Like, even though we don't have enough budget about it, we will come out. We are able to come out with a budget. Our houses will be decorated. The streets will be busy. The traffic will be there, and people will be there. No matter how busy we are, you can always see us on the street, eating, talking, celebrating festivals. Now, one big example of that is the one in Cebu, the Pete Senior, which is held on January 16, the feast of Senior Santo Niño. Now, another thing which can help you interact with the Bisaya locals is their food and hospitality. So, once you found a friend, but be careful, extra careful, with the people. But when you finally found your friend there, that friend will help you, will guide you with the best food and hospitality in that area. Most of the time, that friend will be your guide. Just as long as you find the right person, then you'll be good to go. And that friend could also give you an invitation for meals and gatherings and sharing food. Well, if you found really a good friend, a Filipino friend, Bisaya friend, he will bring you to his home, and they will cook the best food for you. That is for Filipino hospitality. And learning cultural norms, like taking off your shoes when entering someone's home, is common. Unlike in the here in Western country, we just wear our shoes and then go inside the house. But when you're in the Philippines, it's important to take off your shoes. But some of the families, they don't require you to do that, but they require the family to comply to that. And other cultural norms, like some traditions. Some foreigners were able to learn how to eat with their hands, but you don't necessarily need to do that unless you'll be exposed or overexposed by the locals who are doing that. We don't use our hands every day to eat, but to savor the food and enjoy it, sometimes you do it. But for me, I don't do it here in a Western country. I do that when I go back to Philippines, to savor the food and interact and be like our families. And as a foreigner, you could also show interest in the Bisaya language, even if you're not fluent. But if we see that you're attempting to speak Bisaya, we already appreciate that, showing respect to our culture. Just as I said previously, just merely say good morning. Like, good morning in Bisaya is maayong buntag. Thank you in Bisaya is salamat. That could be Tagalog. It's the same with Tagalog. Salamat. Other things, like when you ask a question, for example, where am I going? So in Bisaya, asa man ko moadto, here or there, dinhi or didto. And when you hang out with Visaya people, just be patient and open-minded, because language barrier is expected and common, and can lead to misunderstanding. So be patient, listen carefully, and ask for clarification if you are an English native speaker. And in the most part, just keep smiling. And if you have some humor, yeah, you can give out your humor. Although we don't understand that, but the effort is worth it. We feel the effort, we felt being accepted to, then that actually a good start to build a meaningful relationship with the locals. So Filipinos do appreciate humor and friendliness of the foreigners. Smiling often and having good sense of humor will help you connect with the locals. Even though we don't understand your humor, we don't understand what you're talking about. We only understand one word, two word. When we get it, with all your clarifications, verifications, if we do get what you mean, then we do appreciate that. We're gonna help you out. And there are also some group activities, Filipino group activities, like this will be interesting: karaoke, beach outings, and family gatherings. So you can notice this karaoke. Just when you look around, it usually starts around 6 in the evening up to the morning. And this time, every resident has their own karaoke. So sometimes when you live with people who love to sing, regardless of their voice, you still have to get along with those people, because singing our heart out is common and normal. We don't give out. We don't necessarily give out with our neighbors though, unless it is too much. You could give out to your neighbors, and then that will be okay for a couple of days or 1 month. But that will surely, they will still going to do it again. Mind you. Because they're not going to jail, and it's common, it's the way of life, it's the way of giving out to the world whenever we have problems. Yes, we do sing, regardless of the quality of our voice. So that's one way to get along, and just beware about that. It's going to be a quiet, noisy when you live with the locals who love to sing. Now, learn local customs. Local customs like manopo. So, for example, if you are meeting an elderly Filipino, Bisaya Filipino, so their kids or their younger, could be younger niece or cousins, will do manopo, will bless their hands, like grabbing their hands and putting it on the forehead. That is manopo. That is local customs, a gesture of respect to elders. And foreigners could also help that. When you are already close to the family, if you're not, please do not do it. The family could misinterpret that gesture. You only do that when you are already close to the family. Like, for example, you're marrying a Filipino, you're marrying a Bisaya, you can do that. And your new family would be happy enough to really hug you and give you a smile, as as a English native who do manopo to an elderly family member, Filipino. Oh, did I say it right? Now I'm lost. So as an English foreign, when you bless the hand of the family member, elder family member who is close to you, they would be happy enough to take that. They will give you a smile or even hug you, because that is the sign of respect. Now, learning Bisaya as an English speaker, you can start out with the basic phrases. Greetings, numbers, basic questions, everyday words. You don't necessarily learn to everything. You just, I do think that the key to success in learning Bisaya is just to immerse yourself. Massive exposure. And it could be 1 year, 2 year, it'll be like them. Absolutely just like them. Like Bisaya locals. Well, there could be language apps like Google's, but there's nothing to compare with massive exposure. You can practice Bisaya with the native speakers, immerse yourself. Taking a course, not necessarily. You don't have to though. You don't have to unless if there is an ROI from that course, return of investment. Well, it could be you want to win a heart of a Filipina. Well, that could be. You could. It's important to you to practice the language. You could take a course, all right, to, for in the name of love. And don't be afraid to practice Bisaya. Speaking Bisaya, even if you make mistakes. Practice speaking as much as possible to improve your fluency and confidence. We would understand if you make mistakes. Because if we speak English, we also have broken English. Our English language, our English speaking would be all over the place. So it's just give and take if you make mistakes. In terms of grammar, there's no absolute perfect grammar in Bisaya language. Like unsa, that is what in English. What? Unsa? Where? Asa? How? Unsaon? What else? When? Kanus-a? So that's the four word question. What? Unsa? Where? Asa? How? Unsaon? When? Kanus-a? Why? Nga naman? And in the most part, be patient and persistent. And once again, I'm telling you, it's just in terms of language, just massive exposure. Learning the culture, massive exposure. It could be just 6 months to 1 year. You'll be absolutely like Visaya locals. You could act like them, talk like them. Not necessarily 100% that you can learn their language, but you'll be absolutely just like them. Or they could be just like you. Either way. Now, as a Visaya local and living in Cagayan de Oro, I've seen a couple of different foreigners, Koreans, English, people from foreign people who speak English from different parts of the world. Some of them, they finally reside for good in my place, or it could be other Bisaya regions. Well, look, they were able to make it. So if you are planning to explore the Bisaya regions, beautiful places in the Philippines, the top tip is you don't really there's no a lot of requirements about, being, other than being yourself. Just be yourself. And in the most part, just find the right people who can guide you on your holidays, be your tour guide, people you can trust. So once again, just be yourself and find the right people you can trust to give you a tour, or find a company or an agency you can trust who can guide you in getting along with the locals, with the exploring the places. So just to find the right people and be yourself. No hustle, no pressure. Bisaya people are one of the best people you could ever meet and get along in the Philippines. So if you ever like this content, and hopefully this will be helpful for you, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts. I'm also in Amazon Podcasts. Where else? Other podcast platform. It's just direct upload, and then I'll be available on some podcast platform. But these are the top ones: YouTube, Facebook, Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So you can follow me there. And I want you to know that I do appreciate your time of checking out on my video and listening to this content today. and have a lovely day. Thank you very much.